quick message about healing. If you want to heal, never focus on the actual problem because what you focus on will amplify. What you focus on is what will be created. There have been times when I've had a conversation with someone, right? And I'll maybe have a quick emotion that just passes for a split second, and then everything goes back to normal. But someone that I'm talking to thinks about that one itty bitty split second of a facial expression I had over something, and they would focus on it. Once they focused on that, they manifested an entire situation out of it when it could have been let go. Just remember that what you focus on is always going to grow. And if you focus on a problem, then the problem is going to grow. Even if your desire is to fix the problem, if you focus on it, then you are going to make it stronger. The best way to fix a problem or to properly find internal healing is not about always focusing on it. Now, shadow walking or going through the dark night of the soul, going through the dark trials, that's a whole thing in itself, the dark night of the soul. But when it comes to certain levels of healing, sometimes it's not always about walking through the darkness. It's not always about that. Sometimes it's about creating a proper foundation in which healing has a place where it can grow on. Once that happens, the broken pieces will no longer have a place to lie. And then you can create something better. You can begin to move on into something more healthier. But that's the number one thing that people do not consider when it comes to healing, is they focus too much on how can I get better? How can I help numb this? As long as the pain or this feeling is numbed, then that means I've healed from it. That is one symptom of healing. And it's maybe not even that. The main thing about healing is, like I said, just focus on what you know has been, not focus, examine what has been broken inside of you. Examine the darkness or how you've been impacted, how you've been hurt. And once you feel that, then just really focus on how you can create what it is that you have lost, what it is you feel like you do not have is a thing that you need to reform. You have to become the actual change. Once you do that, then healing will become a byproduct or a side effect of what it is you have accomplished through the journey. The proper way to go through this journey is to let yourself be free and to let yourself be open about what it is you are actually feeling. It is important that you keep that in mind. It is important that you know what it is you're feeling and what you know it is that you lack. It's not about, oh, I feel weak because of this and I shouldn't acknowledge it. No. Every master has to know what it is like to fail in order to master failure. That's not even a quote. But you always have to keep that in mind, that if you are the master at what it is you do, then you have to know what it is to dig yourself out of every single hole that you fall into. So it is important not to get stuck in that hole, because whenever you're going through a journey, you are always going to fail at something. You're always going to fall in a hole. That's just how it is. And it's limited what I'm saying, because not always do people fail. Sometimes failure is not even about, sometimes falling isn't even about failure. Sometimes the actual failure actually comes into play when you give up. Falling in the hole actually may not even be a type of failure. It's just like an obstacle or something that's needed to be understood in order for you to move on to the next level. So excuse me for saying that failing is always a part of it. No, it's not. I'm wrong about that. Failing is only an option or a factor when you give up. So don't get confused over the speed bump versus the versus falling, I guess. It's weird to say that. It's weird to say that a speed bump and falling in a hole have the same symbolic meaning, but it does. The road's not always paved, a smooth pavement. Also, you will never be able to grow unless you have a resistance that actually challenges you into finding stronger parts of yourself. Like, you will never be able to grow if you are constantly going down an easy path, and you will never be able to know what you're actually capable of. You'll never be able to actually accomplish anything or achieve something that you've never achieved before, even happiness. If you want to achieve happiness, it's not always about going the same route that you're going. Sometimes these dark, horrific, hard things hit us in life, and it's actually there to try and challenge us into finding something within us that will help us overcome what that thing is that's holding us back from being happy. Life isn't always kicking us down. It's just opportunities for finding more strength inside of us to make life more beautiful and more fulfilling. A lot of us have lost the meaning of life. We've lost the way of life. And what that means is we have to be even stronger to refine that and rekindle that to make life worth living again. As I said, life is always going to be a reflection of what you feel inside, and what you invest in life is what life is going to invest in you. What you give is what you're going to get back, and what you get back is what you feed yourself, and then whatever it is you feed yourself is what you're going to grow on, and then the cycle continues at those 3 points. What you are, what you give is what you receive, what you receive is what you are is what you give. It's just that simple. So again, if you want to focus on that better life, if you want to focus on healing, then focus on where it is you're going and focus on creating that thing. And once you do that, you create this space that allows the healing to automatically become a part of your life. And whatever tools you use to forge that future are going to be the tools that you're going to be using to fight off the darkness that's holding you back. The last thing I'll say is give yourself permission to want to live again. A lot of people, some people are looking for permission from other people, from their parents, from maybe a spouse or a lover. Sometimes we feel guilty about someone that we hurt in the past. Sometimes what we do is we give someone else the keys to start our life. And what we really need to do is give ourselves that permission. We just have to give ourselves that hey, I got you. It's okay. We got this. Trust yourself. Trust in your intuition. Trust in who you are. And when you do that, when you trust who you are, then you will be able to give yourself permission to go about life. And life always thrives in the ignorant areas, in the areas that we're ignorant in, because in the areas that we're ignorant in, we can't invest our limited understanding of life into it because we're ignorant. And then in that ignorance, that is where life will give us the most blessings, the most powerful blessings. That's when life hits us off guard and the truly beautiful things happen. But you can't be too controlling of life. You can't be too, I have to consume every little thing that comes my way. Because once something starts to slowly come into your life, you automatically focus on it. You're like, wait, I'm going to focus on that thing. The thing is, if what you focus on the thing that you focus on is going to grow into the energy of who you are. And that is something that majority of the people do not understand also when it comes to creating something new, like healing within ourselves or creating a better version of ourselves, is what you focus on is going to grow, but is also going to become what it is you are. So if you focus yourself, if you understand who you truly are, the effect that you have on the people around you, and the effect that you have when you go into a room, when you know yourself and your own real authentic power on that level, then you will understand that when you focus on something, or you focus on somebody or their situation or their life or any kind of situation in your life, that situation is always going to grow into who it is you really are. When you really know who you are, then you will know how this situation is going to evolve. And you're going to know how the situation is going to grow and from a part of you. Now, when you are aware of your inner power, when you're aware of who you are and the effects that you have of other people, you can take that and you can learn how to create more of a situation through that, or redirect the situation from that. And it gets tricky when it comes to intention versus truth, because the thing about truth is subjective. When I say subjective, I'm sorry, not subjective, submissive. Okay, when it comes to the push and pull, truth is actually going to be more of a subjective thing, because it is more of a, the word victimization or victim is very strong, but it's, the truth is something that we are subject to. We are submissive to. So when you understand strength through submission, then you will understand how the only true control that you have is how you can guide the elements and the situations around you with your own awareness. When you have that awareness and you know what you can say, you know what you can do, and you know what parts of yourself you can invest in order to help a situation grow in a specific direction, that's really what power is. That's a real mastery of power. Because the reason why I say it's tricky is because you can have the greatest intention in the world. You can say, I intend to be a good parent. I intend to be good in this situation or that situation, and I'm going to put love into it, and then I'm going to just do it. Well, when you do that, you completely neglect the truth of who you are and how you are a subject to other elements or other parts of yourself that you are not aware of. And those parts are going to automatically be invested into whatever it is that you focus on. And that's why I say being submissive from an overall truth and intention is very hard to decipher when it comes to creating a new situation. Always consider what happens around you. And yes, have a good intention, but also be aware of what you do not have control over. When it comes to what you invest in, that is very important. Anyway, as I close this out, I'm just going to say it one last time, just to sort of recap, to focus on creating space for healing to thrive. That is the best way to find true healing. That is the best way to create a healthy foundation. Just focus on creating a space for healing to thrive. Do not focus on the problem, or you're going to find yourself stuck in a loop. Anyway, have a good day. Do the best you can with what you got, and have a good day.